Hey guys, my name is Gail. Today I want to cover some of the new updates the Facebook Marketplace is giving to us as a seller in the new year of 2021. If that's what you clicked on this video for, you're in the right place, so stay tuned. My name is Gail. I'm a part-time reseller going to do this full-time. One of the platforms that I sell on, in addition to others like eBay and Mercari, is Facebook Marketplace. I'm a proponent of Facebook Marketplace. However, they have had their issues and they have had some good features and some not so good features. I did create a video in the past. It's the pros and cons of selling on Facebook Marketplace. If you want to refer to that video later, you can click here. I'll also have it in the description below. In the meantime, changes from that video have occurred and Facebook now has some cons that have turned into pros. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate and talk to you about today. Facebook Marketplace for a long time has allowed people to be able to sell locally. There are no charges for doing so. At some point they allowed us to start shipping the items. They managed the payments for us. They manage labels. They've worked out deals with the Postal Service to get better rates for us when we're shipping items. It's been a great thing and they've not been charging fees. However, they have since probably around the summertime been letting us know charges are coming. They're going to start charging us 5% as of the first of the year. Here we are, 1st of January 2021. And yes, when I'm starting to list the item and I put in what the amount is that I want to sell it for and I'm listing the shipping price, it does tell me at the end, this is what the anticipated fees would be. Don't be mad. We knew about it and it's 5%. Like most platforms, or at least 10% or more, so we're doing great with 5%. One of the pros that was a con in my prior video is that we now have the option to add quantities. So if you have 10 of the same item and you want to sell it, you can now put the listing and it immediately asks you how many of these do you have. If you have 10, put 10 in there. If you have one, put one in there. The system will automatically manage those for you. So if you sell one, then you have 9. Keep in mind, if you're like me and you cross-post among different platforms the same item, if you do sell on another platform, make sure you adjust the quantity. In the past, the way it worked was you couldn't put a quantity, you could only do one. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, why don't I just do 10 separate listings that are the same? I couldn't do it because Facebook recognizes the image and it would say, this is a duplicate, we won't allow it. So I would either have to change my cover image, the first image that I have, or I would only be able to list one and when it's sold, relist it again. It's kind of a pain. Now we no longer have that problem. I can tell you, however, though, a con on all of this is they do recognize the images still. That can be a good thing, but in this case, it can be a bad thing because I had a stock photo of the same item. It was a necklace and a bracelet set. One was rose gold and one was silver. So you don't have the option to add variations. You can only say how many you have. So I created 2 listings, one for my rose gold one and one for the silver. But because the images, what it was recognizing, the shape of everything was the same, but the colors were clearly different. And it recognized it as a duplicate and told me I couldn't list it. So I had to change the cover photo of one of my listings in order for it to be listed out there. So keep that in mind. A new feature that Facebook is offering is being able to put your listings on vacation mode. So if you want to go on vacation and you don't want to worry about all the listings that you have out there and selling and trying to respond to anyone while you're gone, you can go in and you can put this on vacation mode. You just scroll down to your listings, scroll to the more category, then there's an option to select manage vacation mode. One thing I do want to mention on that is vacation mode prevents the buyer from communicating with you and making any purchases. Facebook offers you the opportunity to have a 3-day handling time with any orders you have now. So if you're only going to be gone 2 or 3 days and you can be back on the 3rd day in enough time to prepare your packages and get them to the post office, I would say don't use the vacation mode. However, if you're going to be gone 7 days, 5 days, 4 days, something more than the 3 days, go ahead and put it on. But if you have a minute somewhere in your vacation time to go in and update it that you're no longer on vacation, then by the time you get back, you can ship out new orders. Another new change that Facebook Marketplace has done is they've updated the categories. Categories are great now because you have a more robust list of items that you can select from to kind of narrow it down to the niche of the item that you're selling. I can tell you it's not perfect, because what I have done is if I've sold a necklace and I choose jewelry, actually click on the radio button for necklace, it shows the word anklet instead. If I go back into the categories and go back through it, the radio button for necklace is chosen, but it still says anklets. So it's not perfect. An anklet goes around your ankle, a necklace goes around your neck. It's not the same thing, so it's not perfect. Also, it used to be a little more intuitive, so if I had the word necklace in the title of the item, it would actually show jewelry as a category. Well, now it doesn't, so I have to click on it, choose jewelry, and drill down into it. So that's kind of a little bit of a pain. Some of the suggested items aren't as perfect. Also, as I mentioned before, the way Facebook Marketplace recognizes images, they also do this as it relates to categories. I uploaded a picture of a Winnie the Pooh plush toy. In the title of the item, I typed the word necklace and nothing else, and when it came down to the categories, there were some jewelry related options for me to choose from, just like they give you suggestions so you don't have to drill down into it. Some jewelry related option not related to necklace was there. However, there was also one for plush toys and stuffed animals. So it is recognizing the image regardless of what you put in the word. So keep that in mind. That can be a good thing. Another update are tags. Some sellers do things differently. Some list using their computer, some list using the Facebook app on their phone. I usually use the app on my phone, but sometimes I use the computer. One thing that has always been the case are tags, where you can type in different tags. So if I'm selling a hair barrette, I can type in the word hair, the word barrette, silver, turquoise. Those are all keywords that I would put in my tags. But when I tried to list something on the platform using the computer, tags were not an option. Now, as of the new year, those are options. So if you were wanting to do the tags, but you couldn't do it when you could list it on the computer, you now can. That's a great new change that they've added. Another feature that they've added onto the platform, when you're listing through the app on your phone, there is an option to hide your listing from your friends on Facebook. Your items are normally public to everyone on Facebook Marketplace, but now Facebook gives you that option to choose that and prevent anyone who's on your Facebook page as a friend from seeing those items. I did look on the computer, that's not an option. Whether it works or not, I'm not 100% sure. I would think if that option's there, it works, but it is an option to be able to choose hide from friends on the app, but not the computer. Now, the other thing that I noticed that's new, and maybe it's not, but I noticed it, is creating a draft. I list a lot from my phone, but I do the computer as well. But when I'm on my phone and I create a listing and I want to stop, there's a top left option that you can choose to click cancel to get back to the beginning. Before it's done, it will ask you, do you want to save it as a draft or delete the listing? That is where you can save it as a draft. It's not an option anywhere else. Now, if you're on the computer, on the first page where you upload the image and you're typing in the title, there's an option in the top right corner of that listing section that says create draft. So you can create a draft from your computer or from your app on your phone. However, just know on the one on the phone, the only way you're going to see it is if you hit cancel and to go back to the beginning, then it will prompt you if you want to save that as a draft. Another item that I want to note for the beginning of this year that has not changed, unlike the others that we see changes on, is shipping. If you're a reseller and you have been selling online, you probably already know this, but if you haven't, I'm going to tell you. United States Postal Service increased their rates quite a bit for the fourth quarter of 2020 to accommodate the massive amount of quantity of packages and staff to be able to keep up with all of the packages and deliveries. They failed epically when it came to delivering packages, and some sellers lost a lot of money because other platforms like eBay were refunding the buyer the funds because the package was shown as being delivered but had not been delivered after a certain amount of time. We're not going to really go into that detail, but the point is they raised their rates considerably, and it was supposed to be a temporary increase for the fourth quarter. So right after the fourth quarter, around the 27th or so, the Postal Service went back to their regular rates. However, Facebook Marketplace did do an increase of the rates. For example, when you do prepaid labels, where Facebook Marketplace gives you the label for it, for something that was 8 ounces or less, it used to cost $3, which was great, especially if it was over 4 ounces, but under 8. That would have cost more with the regular rates that you were using with your own shipping labels. However, Facebook Marketplace changed that because they wanted to accommodate the new temporary rates with the United States Postal Service. And so packages 8 ounces and less, for example, went from $3 to $3.50. It seemed like it was a seamless transition for everyone. I didn't get any complaints from everyone, and $3.50 still isn't bad. However, once the Postal Service went back to their regular rates, Facebook Marketplace never changed the rates. And I say never, we're probably 10, 15 days after the rates went back to normal. And the reason they may or may not have changed them is the Postal Service is scheduled to do a rate increase around the 20th, 21st of January 2021, and they may just be waiting to see what happens there. My understanding is the rates will go up from their current regular rates, but it will be lower than the higher rates that they gave us for the fourth quarter. We'll have to see what Facebook Marketplace does with that. So a tip on shipping and what I do, and it saves me a little bit of money because the rates have gone back down and they're not reflected in the Facebook Marketplace prepaid labels. What I do, if my package is under 4 ounces, more than likely it's going to be about $3 or under, maybe $3.15 or so. It's really not going to be $3.50. So what I do is I choose to ship on my own and use my own label, and I put in a flat fee of $3.50. So they're paying the same as if I use the prepaid label. But when they pay $3.50, if it only costs me $3 to ship, then I'm profiting 50 cents, and that makes that a handling fee for me, and it works out great. That's just a quick tip to earn some money. If it's over 4 ounces but under 8, I would use the prepaid shipping label because $3.50 is not a bad price for that weight. Okay, I also have a tip on shipping. Facebook Marketplace is only offering priority mail in anything over a pound, no matter what. That's fine. The only problem is when you have something like books that are super, super heavy. We don't want those to go priority mail. It would cost a fortune. And you're doing something that's media mail. If you don't know what constitutes media mail, Google it. It's on the United States Postal Service website what qualifies as media mail. Books are definitely media mail. So let's just say you have books and they weigh 5 pounds. What I would do is I would not choose the prepaid label because it will cost the buyer a fortune. I would put in that you will do your own shipping label. You can go to pirateship.com and create an account. Even if you don't, you can get an estimate on what it would cost to ship something and just put a zip code that's kind of furthest away from you and the weight, and it'll tell you what it'll cost. It could be $3. So if you have something that's media mail, I would say use your own label, but make sure in the description of the listing that you make a note your item will be shipped via United States Postal Service media mail. And the reason I tell you to do that is because media mail is slower than priority mail. Priority mail is 1 to 3 days. Media mail could be like 5 to 8 days. So it's important that you let them know and cover yourself so there's no complaints or no issues. But by doing that, you're saving them a lot of money or making sale, because otherwise you probably won't make a sale if you're trying to ship heavy books through priority mail. So that is a summary of all the upgrades and changes that I've seen that have been made that I think are important for you to know that is new with the new year of 2021. That's it. I hope this video is helpful to you guys. I hope if you're not listing on Facebook Marketplace, I highly encourage it. And if you are a reseller and you do sell on online platforms, but you just haven't ventured out to do it through Facebook Marketplace, I highly suggest you do that. A lot of resellers do use Facebook to sell, but they use it for big items. They want to do local sales, but it's shipping just like any other platform, and it's so easier than something like eBay when it comes to shipping. So I encourage it. Let me know in the comments below, have you been selling on Facebook Marketplace? Do you see these changes? If you're not selling on Facebook Marketplace, are you going to start doing it? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to hear your progress as well. I will be doing a new video of how to list on Facebook Marketplace. Keep a lookout for that video. I did do one if you're interested in it. It's right here. However, it does not include the changes, so I'll be doing a video soon of those new changes that I just mentioned to you for 2021. I appreciate you stopping by to watch this video. If you like this content, please hit the like button. That helps the algorithms. Subscribe if you haven't already. Here's an icon to do so, or you can click below. And also put a playlist here of videos that you might be interested in. Thanks again, y'all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.